What it do to everybody on here? So you know I'm live on my website. Means billions of girls tuning in. So you know my fans gonna post this story on YouTube. Now we know it's not gonna get millions of views, but that ain't why they post it. My fans post my stories, on YouTube, just in case people want to listen to it, or just in case somebody want to have something to listen to. You know what I mean? So that's why my fans, post the stories on YouTube, not to get, millions of subscribers. If you notice, I don't be like, oh, subscribe to this channel, subscribe, or like this video. I don't do that. I'm not a YouTuber, so I just, I tell you my stories. I'm live on my website right now. But anyway, I got married again. I got a lot of wives, and that's because I have to have a lot of wives, because I'm not normal. But I did marry the girl Kay. I really, really like this girl. Like, she's so beautiful. I mean, especially her body. But anyway, my love life and career is in a parallel universe. I'm gonna start it off with, oh damn. Anyway, I'm gonna start it off with, I was with Selena Gomez, and she got on the boat, and we had just got finished having sex, which means I had just got finished basically fucking her brains out. So I was turning her ass up, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. So if you would have seen those photos she sent to my phone, you would have tore that pussy up too. But yeah, I mean, she is already pregnant with my baby, so But I'm really in heat, especially when I turn into a wolf, I'm like extra horny. So I was fucking her as the wolf and, pounding on it. It was nighttime. I was turning her ass up while her ass was clapping real fast. She was like, yeah, a little bit she tried to run. She did try to run as I was beating it up real fast because I was turning that shit up. But anyway, so I was like, so why was you trying to run? She's like, David, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, usually it is a lot of dick, but usually I can take all the dick you give me. But this time, as you being this wolf, and that dick is extra huge, I don't know. It's like, and plus you pounding on it the way you do, and you fuck extra longer than an hour. It was killing my insides, David. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was breaking me. You was breaking me the hell down. So it was like, either I'm gonna collapse and pass out, or I'll run around the room a little bit, and then you catch me and fuck me again. And that's what I did. Like, I ran around the room, and you caught me and pinned me down and start fucking me again. So it's not like I wasn't gonna let you keep fucking me. It's just I had to get some air and stuff because I was like running out of oxygen the way you were fucking me. I couldn't, like, when a girl moan, that takes air for a girl to moan, and then she's like moaning nonstop moaning, she's not really breathing. So it's like I had to get some air in my body because I wasn't taking no time to breathe. I just kept moaning, and that's why I ran away. Not because I really wanted to. I definitely wanted you to keep dicking me down, but yeah, because it felt really good. It did. But I'm not gonna ask you if it felt good to you. Obviously, it did. But David, listen, I've been thinking, and I want us to get married. I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah, I've been thinking long and hard since I got on this boat, and I really care about you. So she's like, I really care about you, and I love you. And I know I said some things on the phone that I shouldn't have said to you, and it was wrong of me to say it in that fucking way. I shouldn't have said it the way I said it, making it seem like I don't care about you, because that's definitely not true at all. I was gonna call and apologize to you, but I thought you didn't want to hear from me because the way that I had talked to you on the phone and stuff. And I mean, I'm sorry. And I know I did it because I thought I felt true love or whatever, but obviously that wasn't the case. And it's like, why do I always choose the boys that just want to fuck me and have their way with me? And after they fuck me, then they go find another girl. So it's like, why do I always fall for that? And I think I'm stupid in that fucking source where I fall for someone that I think that's really into me. And the whole time, they're, they're lurking to get some pussy. And then once I give them the cookie, give them what they really want, which that's what they really in a relationship for, is to like get some pussy. They like, how long is it gonna take for me to get some fucking ass? Then after they get it, then they go like, oh, I didn't, I fucked Selena. I know how it feels. I mean, I got that fantasy out. I fucked her a few times. Now I can go to another girl. So it's like, why do I always fall for that shit? I don't know. And then I always say that to myself, and then I end up doing the same shit, the same pattern all over again. And I really do love you, David. You was treating me good. You wasn't treating me bad or anything. And we do got a family on the way. And I just feel like we should get married. We should, get married, tie the knot. And I'm ready, David. I'm not getting no younger. I want to be with you. I'm like, you do? It's like, yes, I do. And I'm serious. I'm like, you are? It's like, yes. I mean, I feel like our kids should have married parents, real married parents. Like, you are the real father. So I really want us to be a real couple, like in a real relationship. I'm like, and you ready for that? It's like, yes, baby. If I wasn't ready for it, I wouldn't have came all this way to give you pussy because you was horny. You couldn't hold out. If I was, like I did everything you said. I didn't question it or anything. I dropped my busy schedule to be with you. I'm here. I'm on this boat. I'm not going nowhere. I'm right here. I'm half naked, all that titties out and everything. And if that's not more than enough to prove to you that I love you or care about you, then I don't know what else to do. So I'm like, okay, we'll get married, but do you want like a real wedding or a quick wedding? She's like, I kind of want a real wedding. I kind of want our wedding to be public. I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah, I kind of want people to know that we're getting married because I feel like if we run and elope and get married, I feel like nobody's gonna really take our marriage seriously. They're not gonna think that we're like really serious to be together because we had to like elope and get married instead of doing it in a public where the whole world can see us getting married. And I feel like I really don't want to hide our marriage. I don't want to hide our relationship. I love you and I want everybody to know. And I don't know if you're like on the same page of how I feel. I know you got two wives and everything like that, but David, they definitely cheated on you. Jenna Ortega proved herself that she did it many of times that she cannot be trusted. I'm like, I mean, yeah, this is true. She's like, so I mean, she even had sex with your best friend. That's not your best friend no more. But if she done some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's just be real. I'm like, yeah, you got a point there. She's like, so it's like you definitely can't trust that girl. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's only with you because it's safe for her. But I'm not saying those. I know that the babies are yours. Like I know they look just like you. But what I'm saying is like just because she might have gave you babies because she probably felt guilty about what the fuck she did. When girls do shit like what she did, they'll give the person babies just be like, oh, this can make up for me cheating on you or doing what I did. This is like this will make up if I give you babies. But it's like that don't make up for what the fuck you did. Like she obviously know what she did. I'm like, yeah, it's like that girl Tanera cheated on you. I mean, I don't know how many times, but I know she definitely slept around on you. So I'm like, I mean, yeah, Tanera did it. She have done that before. It's like, I mean, so what I'm saying is like, if she has done that shit before, did it happen this year? I'm like, what, Tanera cheating on me? She's like, yeah. I'm like, a few months ago, she did cheat on me. She was doing some reality show, and one of the mothers was married, and she was having sex with the mother husband and stuff for like 2 weeks. She was like, "That's what I'm saying. If you can't trust shit like that. Who's to say that they not doing that shit right now? I mean, social media is a very powerful thing. You never know what people is doing on social media. I'm like, yeah, this is true. It's like you don't know who they talking to. You don't know who they DMing. Like you really don't know who's people. You don't know what people are doing or interacting when they're on social media. Like social media is very dangerous. I'm like, that's true. You are saying some true shit. So she's like, but what I'm saying is like, I ain't trying to throw them under the bus so you can hate your wives and stuff like that. That ain't what I'm doing. But I just want you to see clearly that I do love you and I would be like a perfect wife to you. I just want you to see that. So like you will. It's like yes, because all I want is someone to really truly love me, not just love me just because they want to fuck my pussy for a few times and then leave me and go fuck other girls. You know, I want someone that can really be there for me when I need them. You know. And I know it's you. It's always been you, David. And yeah, you know, I know you probably throw this in my face. Well, you said all that stuff to me on the phone. I know. I'm owning up to what I said. I'm admitting I did say things that I didn't really mean. And sometimes people say things that they don't mean, you know, in the heat of the moment because they caught up in the moment. But I know that I fucked up and I won't, you know, deny that I did fuck up. You know, I fucked up. It happens, you know, but I am truly sorry, and I definitely want to make it up to you. So we did end up having sex again. I ended up beating it up. I was turning her ass up. Well, you should have seen her ass clapping. It was clapping pretty hard, like really fast. I was turning that shit up. So I remember after I was done with Selena, she asked me again, you know, will I marry her? And I said that I would marry Selena. I was like, yeah, I said I would marry you. She's like, so you saying yes? I'm like, yeah. She's like, so basically we are engaged. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so do that means I have to go get some rings? Is it a ring store on this boat where I can buy some rings? I'm like, yeah, it's a ring store. It's like, okay, I will go buy some rings for us so we can be engaged. Cause I really want us to feel like we're engaged, you know? I'm like, come here, girl, look at all this ass. She's like, and all of this ass is yours. I'm like, it is. Like, yes. I'm like, well, you let Zane beat it up. It's like, David, can you just stop? Can you like not bring that up, please? I don't bring up all the fucking celebrity girls you fuck, and you definitely fucked a lot of them. So I'm like, okay. It's like, you don't see me bringing that up every time we have a conversation. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you got a point there. So I bent her over and started beating it up. I'm like, say it's my butt. I'm like, say it's my pussy. He's like, it's your pussy. I'm like, say all of this is my pussy. He's like, all of this is your pussy. I'm like, say it, Selena. It's like, all of this is your pussy. I'm like, say it's my pussy. It's like, all of this is your pussy. So I'm beating it up or whatever. I was turning that shit up, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Then I ended up busting in her, and then she kind of got like she got hungry, but she was like really tired because I did fuck her brains out. We got something to eat, then I had sex with her again, and she pretty much passed out on the bed. But I made her put some, you know, night clothes on before she went to bed. But anyway, I went to go see the girl Kay. Kay had to sneak out because you know, like her mom is, she's been like on to her or whatever like that. So she sneaks out of the room and she comes and see me. She's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, baby, I've been thinking about you a lot." It's like, "I have too, baby." I'm like, and I want you to be my wife. Like, I want us to get married right now. We obviously can't have a public wedding because you're, you know, your age. But I am 16 too. But you know, if your mom find out that you're my wife, she's definitely gonna be pissed off. It's like, you definitely got that right. Well, you want to get married now? I'm like, yeah. I don't want to wait. I want you to be my wife. She's like, okay. So we start kissing and stuff like that, and I'm like, I want to get you pregnant. I know you don't want to get pregnant. It's like, who said I didn't want to get pregnant? I'm like, well, do you want to have babies? Like, I mean, I do with you. If I'm gonna have babies at an early age, I want it to be with you. I'm like, you do? It's like, yes. If I'm gonna get knocked up at 16, I want you to be the father. I'm like, you do? It's like, yes, because I want it to be with somebody I really want to be with, and I want to be with you. And a lot of times when girls get pregnant at an early age, it's with a boy that they hardly even know, or they only met for like maybe a couple of days or a week, and they end up having sex, and then she ends up knocked the hell up, you know, and then she has to go, I guess, go through with the pregnancy. But it's like they don't have a choice of who they really want to have a baby by. They just be like, damn, it's by this dude. I really hardly know him, but fuck it. I guess I have no choice but to have the baby. But what I'm saying is, like, with you, I do know you and I like you a lot. And it's not like you don't have money and stuff. And it's not about money, but you have a career. You're an A-list actor, pop star, and you're really famous, and lots of girls love you, including myself. So, yeah, I would love to be your wife. I'm like, and what I was like, well, I would love to be your wife and have your babies. I think I'll make a great wife, a really good wife. I mean, I'm still learning how to cook certain dishes and foods and stuff, but I think I'll make a good wife. I'm like, you think so? I was like, yeah. I mean, if you didn't think so, you wouldn't ask to marry me right now. If you didn't think I would make a good wife, I'm like, I think you would. It's like, so that means I would be your daughter's stepmom. I'm like, yeah. It's like if we get married right now on this boat, could we get married on this boat? I'm like, yeah, we could. She's like, so it's a place on here to get married? I mean, it's a really big ass boat, so I'm pretty sure it is. So me and her get married right away, and I married her as the wolf because it was nighttime and I turned into the wolf at nighttime. And I just remember she was like, David, I cannot believe I'm your wife. I'm like, she's like, I cannot show these pictures to anybody. I'm like, why? She's like, you're a wolf, David. In the pictures, you're a werewolf. And look at me. I'm human. I mean, people are not going to understand this relationship. I'm like, but I still look like a human. She's like, yeah, you do, but nobody's going to understand this. Like, they're going to think it's creepy. And I definitely 100% can't show this shit to my mom or my brother. I'm like, okay. It's like, look, David, we're married. And so I'm like, look, I'm going to take you back to the room. I want to talk to you. He's like, okay. So we go back to the room. I'm like, look, I'm really in love with you. It's like, I am too. Why would you think that I'm not? I'm like, it's like, I'm here. I snuck out of the room when I wasn't supposed to. I want you. I want you to put a baby on me tonight. I'm like, you do? It's like, yeah, I'm ready. So I ended up beating it up from the back. I was tearing her ass up, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I ended up busting in her really, really hard. I came in her so hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. So then I put on the show, Just Roll With It. That's the show that Kay plays on, but she played on that show when she was really young. She had to be like 10 or 11 years old when she played on that show. And she was like, wow, I look so young. Like, I look so tiny on that show. Oh my God. Oh, and I look so skinny. I'm like, yeah, you do. It's like, oh my goodness. I'm almost about to be 17 years old. I'm like, yeah, true. She's like, that show was so long ago. Oh my goodness. I'm like, she's like, why did you turn this show on? I'm like, I want it on as I'm beating up that pussy. She's like, oh, you want this show playing as you fucking me? I'm like, yeah. It's like, you're so nasty. I'm like, how else am I gonna make the baby? It's like, you might have already got me pregnant. I mean, that wolf sperm is pretty damn hard. Is it still your DNA? I'm like, yes, it's me. It's still my DNA. So she's like, okay, so if I have animal babies, is it still gonna come out human? I'm like, not exactly. It's like, well, what do you mean? So I'm like, well, with the fact that you're human, because I could change you into a wolf. She's like, you could? I'm like, yeah, I could. She's like, and I would look like you at night. I'm like, yeah, just a girl version of it. It's like, what changed me? I'm like, no, I want you to be human. It's like, why? I want to be a wolf like you. I'm like, yeah, I know, Kay, but maybe later. It's like, what do you mean, maybe later? Because if I have your animal babies, which they're gonna be yours, and they come out looking like animal wolf humans, I want to be able to connect with them too. I'm like, so like if they just find out that their mother is just a human girl that just birthed them, I'm like, you'll still be their mother. She's like, I mean, yeah, but I want to be able to wolf out like you. Please, David. So I'm like, you really want to be a werewolf? She's like, yes, I want us. We already married. I wanna wolf out like you. Is the process painful? Does it hurt? I'm like, if I bite you on your neck, I mean, that's where the transformation happens. But yeah, I mean, the bite hurts. But as far as like the transition, it happens. Like you'll feel it happening to your body. Like you'll feel your body feeling a certain way. You'll just feel different. You know, you'll feel elevated and good instead of like being in pain and stuff. I know the stuff you see on TV, you think that that's the process of how a werewolf happens, but that's all a lie. So she's like, so you're saying that the transformation is pretty much painfulest. I'm like, right. She's like, well, if it's painfulest, then change me. So I'm like, but what about your mom? It's like, David, I'm doing a lot of things that my mom is definitely not going to approve of. We're having a ton of sex. Um, what else? We just got married. She's not going to approve of that. I'm your wife, like your real wife. Like she's not going to approve of me being your wife. So me being a wolf, I'm like, but the thing is that when you first turn into a wolf, you can't control it. So if you around your mom and your family, you're gonna wolf out right in front of them, and they're gonna be creeped out. They're gonna run away from you. She's like, okay, well, couldn't I just go somewhere and wolf out? I'm like, yeah, you can go somewhere. You know, if you feel your body changing into the wolf, you can leave from away from them or run somewhere. It's like, okay, because I want you to fuck me as a female wolf. I'm like, you do? He's like, yeah, I want you to be turn that ass up like you do now. I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, I want you to just beat it up, you know. Two wolves having sex. I think that's really sexy. Especially a female and a male going at it. I'm like, you like that, huh? It's like, yeah. You can suck on my titties and everything. I'm like, you'll let me beat it up. It's like, I'm letting you beat it up now. So I'm like, all right, if I get you pregnant, how about after you had the babies, I change you? She's like, okay, all right. After I had the babies, you promise you'll change me? I'm like, I change you after you have the babies in 9 months. After you birth them, then I'll change you. She's like, so I can connect with them? I'm like, yes, I promise. She's like, you promise? I'm like, I promise. She's like, okay, all right. But I just want to do it now, though, David. I want to be able to have sex with you and connect with you on the level. Like, you know? And plus, that damn wolf dick is really painful. I'm like, it is like, yes, you fucking me as a wolf and I'm a human girl. I mean, that's animal, that's an animal dick. That shit is huge. I'm like, okay, it's like, and it's like deep in my pussy and it hurts. I'm like, okay, it's like, and I know I'll be taking it, but that shit be killing me. I'm like, okay. It's like, and it also be stretching out my vagina. So it's like, but if you change me, if you change me into what you are, I can be able to take that, you know, that big wolf dick. So I'm like, I mean, okay. She's like, please, David, think about it. Two beautiful wolves having sex. I'm like, okay, I'll change you over the weekend. I promise you. She's like, you promise? I'm like, I promise. She's like, okay. So I just, you know what? I was like, you know what? I might as well just do it now because I probably forget to change you over the weekend. So I just remember I did end up changing her or whatever like that. And I bit her neck. At first, she kept moving her neck. I was like, why you keep moving your neck? She's like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm like, come on. I'm trying to bite it. It's like, okay, yeah. So she let me bite her neck, and then I had to, you know, cover it up. And she's like, now what? What happens now? I'm like, there's no turning back now. That means that, you know, you gotta stay with me because you are going to change around your family, and they're not going to know what's happening to you. So she's like, okay. So you changed me. I'm gonna be a girl wolf like well, you're a male wolf, but I'm gonna be a girl version of what you are. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I'm so excited that we can really have sex, like all types of rough sex. I'm like, it's like, David, have you ever got your dick sucked before? I'm like, yeah, a lot. It's like, I want to suck your dick as a girl werewolf. I'm like, oh, you do? It's like, would you let me do it? I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, it's like, I am going to do it. That's going to be the first thing I do. I'm like, really? It's like, yes. And that way we could be a wolf family. I'm like, I changed the girl already, Novana. I made her a werewolf too. She's like, you did? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I got her pregnant as well. She's like, so what? I'm not the only girl you changed? I'm like, look, yes, but I thought that I wanted to just be with her, but turns out that I want to just be with you. I mean, I didn't know that you was going to come back into my life the way you did. She's like, okay, so you're not going to cheat on me with her? I'm like, I promise. She's like, you promise? I'm like, you're the only girl I keep thinking about. She's like, okay, all right. So she's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. She's like, I want you to get me pregnant. Please, David, knock me up. So I started beating it up real fast or whatever. And I got my nurses to check out, Kay and to see if she is pregnant because she probably is already pregnant and just don't know it. So my nurses, they checking her out and they like, yeah, she's definitely pregnant. I'm like, she is? She's like, yeah, I mean, she's definitely pregnant. She just haven't have the symptoms of being pregnant, like throwing up and stuff like that. But she's definitely pregnant. She has that animal sperm in her. Wait, did you change her? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like into a wolf because I see that like in her veins is giving out wolf, vibes that you changed her. Like her body is like functioning different. I'm like, oh yeah, I did. She's like, okay, okay. Well, yes, animal sperm in her, being as though that she will eventually start turning into a wolf. Her pregnancy will go good. She won't have no hookups. She's like, but what if I was human and have animal sperm in me, his sperm? Like, what would have happened then? She's like, I mean, you would have still had a nice pregnancy, but you still would have been kind of like getting sick a lot and stuff like that because it is animal sperm. So you would be getting sick a lot and tired a lot and you very weak where there are days where you probably ain't gonna feel like doing nothing at all but just laying in the bed. But you're probably gonna be able to still do the same thing being a female werewolf. You're still gonna be getting sick a lot and stuff like that. It's like, so basically the same thing is gonna happen. She's like, yeah, basically the same thing is gonna happen. She's like, well, thank you for telling me. So the nurses leave out and she's like, so I am pregnant. I just don't feel it yet. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, that is like a relief because we were working to make babies and we made baby wolf cubs. Ain't that what you call them? Like wolf cubs? I'm like, yeah, it's like in cubs it's babies, right? I'm like, for animals they're cubs. She's like, right, so we made wolf cubs. I'm like, right. She's like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to tell my mother this. This is going to be very hard to hide this from her. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, well, if I'm in my early stage, but if they're wolf babies, which they are, and it's your DNA, because you fucked me as a wolf, what I want to say is like, if it's more than one sperm, because I'm pretty sure it looked like it was more than one animal sperm in me, so it's probably twins. And being as though it's animal sperm, is my pregnancy going to show a lot faster? I'm like, that is a very good question. I mean, I'm assuming that it probably would show a lot faster, but you're still going to be pregnant for 9 whole months. You're still going to be pregnant for 9 months. She was like, okay, but the pregnancy probably going to show a lot faster because it's animal sperm. I'm like, right. She's like, okay, well, yeah, this is going to be very hard to. She was like, this is going to be very hard to keep from my mom. I'm like, so so do you want to keep this from your mother? She's like, I don't think I have a choice but to probably tell her the truth. But I don't think that I'm gonna just tell her the truth right now. I'm gonna wait to tell her. So I'm like, so when are you gonna actually tell your mom, that I got you pregnant? She's like, um, when do I actually start woofing out? I'm like, well, you start woofing out like probably tomorrow. Not probably, but tomorrow you'll start changing at night. It always happens at night. It don't have to be a full moon and all that shit. It always happens at night. She's like, so that full moon shit, that's a myth, that's a lie, like that's not true. I'm like, none of that stuff you see in movies and shows is true. It's all myths. All that shit is made up. She's like, I cannot believe that that shit is bullshit. I'm like, well, now you know. She was like, get the fuck out of here. I thought that fucking werewolves. I'm like, do you really think they know how fucking werewolf actually is, especially if they're human and they can change into a wolf? You think they know how type of transformation works? You think they really actually know? And the only way that they would know that shit is if they're a werewolf they damn self. If they was half werewolf, half human, then they would probably be able to tell you that this is how it works. But none of them have that ability to do that. So there's no way that they can tell you how a real werewolf can change from a human back to a werewolf. They can't tell you that. They can just come up with fictional ideas of this is how a werewolf, transformate. This is how they go through their cycle. But none of that shit is true. So she's like, David, I'm never gonna look at wolf shows ever the same. Cause now that you're telling me that all that shit is not true and it's a lie, I'm never gonna look at those shows the way I've been looking at them. I've been looking at those shows like they've been fucking right, like all of that shit is facts. And you telling me that it's all lies? There's no way that I'm ever gonna look at that shit the same. I'm like, I don't think you should look at it the same. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like the shows. I mean, if you like them, it's like, but how can I like a show that's not true? Like, how I'm like the same way you look at a TV show, the same way you look at movies that you know is fictional, but you still like it. The same way. It's like, no, because you just changed me into a wolf, and now that I'm gonna be one, I'm not gonna look at those shows the same because I'm gonna be like they're lying. It's like, no, I'm not gonna be feeling it. It's a different story if I'm not a wolf and I'm looking at the show and but you just changed me and I feel my body going through the transformation, but it's not painful. Like I don't feel pain and stuff. I feel actually really fucking good. I mean, I feel like I'm in heat, like I'm ready to get some dick. I'm definitely wet as shit right now. I'm like, you are like, yes, I'm so wet. And I keep cussing. I don't normally cuss this much. I'm like, it's like, yeah. I mean, I cuss, but not like how, like, I'm cussing so much, like a lot of profanity here. So we end up having sex again. This time she was kind of like throwing it back like her ass. She was like throwing it back on my dick real hard. And I was grabbing her thighs and jamming my dick in her, really hard. It was really sexual. I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really sexual. Now, um, I do remember after we had sex, she kind of like, fell asleep, and I made her put on some night clothes, but I went in the room with Molly Cyrus, and she was like, up still recording, but she had on some clothes, and I started kissing on her. She's like, oh, David, I am wet as shit. I'm like, you wet? She's like, yeah, David, I want some dick. I'm like, you want some dick? She's like, I want some dick. I want your dick. I'm wet. Can you fuck your girl? Or your wife? I am still your wife, right? I'm like, yeah. So I start beating it up, me and Molly Cyrus. Pretty much having sex and going at it. And I tore her ass up. Now, I was fucking her as the wolf, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I was killing that pussy. And she told me that she wanted to. Well, she asked me first. She was like, David, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah, what's up? She was like, you have the ability to change people into wolves, right? To what the fuck you are, right? You have the ability to do that, right? Like a vampire. When a vampire bite another like a human, and then they ended up. It's like if they bite them but don't kill them, and they end up changing into a vampire too. I'm like, Yeah, I have the ability to do that. She was like, so I was thinking, what if you change me into a wolf? I'm like, what you mean? She's like a female girl wolf. Cause David, you fucking me every night as this wolf is killing my pussy. It's killing it. I'm like, it is, Molly. It's like, I'm like, but I thought you would be able to take it, Molly. It's like, I mean, I can take it when it's just you being a human, fucking me the way you are with that. Because even then, your dick is big. But I can take that. But that wolf dick, I can't take that shit. That shit is very painful. I feel like I'm dying half of the time you pounding on it. I mean, I can enjoy you, but then I can't. I'm like, okay, so what are you saying? It's like I'm saying that I want to be a wolf. I want you to change me into a wolf. I'm like, you want me to change you into a wolf? It's like, yeah. I mean, David, if you change me into a wolf, what happened to the babies inside of me? I'm like, they'll come out as babies. She's like, okay, so do it. I'm like, let me think about it, Molly. It's like, but I'm like, but if I change you, that means that you marked for the rest of your life. You're like, you can't date nobody else but me. I'm your master. It's like, you're already my master. And I'm not sleeping with anybody else but you. I'm like, okay, so that's true. So like David, you can control me as far as like my love life because you're the man I want to be with. I don't want to be with nobody else but you. I'm like, Shaq, if I had sex with somebody else right now, it would be mediocre. It would be mediocre, which means that they wouldn't fuck me nearly the way you fuck me, and I wouldn't be satisfied. I wouldn't even have an orgasm. When you fuck me, I have like 5 orgasms back to back. I'm still shaking from when we just fucked like an hour ago. I'm literally still twitching. My legs is still shaking and everything. So what I'm saying is like, I'm gonna always expect that when I get fucked, and no man can fuck me like that but you. If I fucked a regular boy right now, if I had sex with them right now, they probably almost would make me come. And then that would piss me off because I'm looking for, I need to bust. I want my shit, I need my pussy leaking. And if you can't do that, which obviously a lot of boys, and just because a boy fucking you real fast don't mean that they killing your pussy. You know what I'm saying? Just because they humping on you real hard don't mean that they satisfying your pussy. It all depends on like how you doing that shit, you know? And I had sex with a lot of boys that couldn't really satisfy this pussy. I'm like, well, did Liam, did he satisfy you? She's like, at times, sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. It was like, half and half. Sometimes he was on his shit and a lot of times he wasn't. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, but for you, you're like always on your shit. And I'm always going to expect what I get. Like when I want sex, I'm going to want that fucking shit where I'm coming nonstop, having orgasms nonstop. I'm going to want that shit every time. So trust me, David, if you change me into a wolf, I'm be yours forever. Like I promise you, I'm like, yeah, but I would know if you slept around with somebody else, like, and what would happen if I was to cheat on you? I'm like, I would have to punish you. She's like, and how would you do that? I'm like, I don't know, fuck you for a month straight, just killing your pussy. She's like, what, in the bed just fucking me for a whole month? That's my punishment? I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay. I mean, wait, do we eat? Do we go to the bathroom? I'm like, no. It's like, David, that's impossible. You can't just fuck me for a whole month and then me not using the bathroom and stuff. David, I'll die. I gotta eat. I gotta feed the babies. I'm like, it's like, no, I'm playing with you. She's like, I'm like, but you can't cheat on me though. She's like, I'm not gonna cheat on you. I just want to be connected to you. I want you to know that I love you. I don't want you to forget about me and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. It's like, I know that it's a lot of girls on your dick, and I know that I'm in my late 30s. I'm like 36 years old, and I ain't getting no younger, David. And I know it's a lot of other pretty celebrity girls out there that's very thoroughly attracted to you. So it's like, and why not? Why wouldn't they be attracted to you? You're very beautiful. You're very charming, you're confident, you're a trillionaire, you're an A-list actor and pop star. You're very smooth. Like, what girl wouldn't fall in love with you? All I'm just saying is that, David, you should start your own wolf pack. Don't change just one girl into a wolf. You can change a lot of girls into wolves, have your own wolf pack. That would be kind of cool to start your own wolf pack because that means we'll always be connected forever. So if I go through something, you'll feel it. You'll know that I'm in danger or something's happening to me. You can come and save me. Instead of just wondering if I'm okay, you would already know that I'm okay. Because we'll have that connection as being wolves together. That part is true, right? That wolves can feel when another wolf is going through something. I'm like, well, yeah, that part is true. So she's like, so what do you say? I'm like, you want to get changed now? Or don't you think you should get changed like after you had the babies? My babies? Like, I'm like, because if you wolf out as you pregnant, I mean, that kind of would look kind of sexy, you being pregnant as a wolf, and they still my babies. I mean, that would kind of be sexy. It's like, so why don't you just do it? I'm like, them damn producers and engineers you got, they gonna be scared. It's like, I don't care if they gonna be scared. What if I start changing into a wolf? Is it painful? Does it hurt and stuff? I'm like, no, but you'll be a wolf the next day at night. And if you're recording and you just change into a wolf right in front of them, they're gonna run out of the fucking room. She's like, so? I'm like, all right, okay. So I changed her into a wolf. I bit her and on her neck, and then I covered it up. She's like, that bite hurt, David. So what happens now? I'm like, you just gonna feel your body changing in different ways. She's like, does it affect the babies? I'm like, no. She's like, you promise? I'm like, I promise everything is gonna be good. You think I would have changed you if I knew it was gonna hurt my babies? I mean, that's my sperm in you. So she's like, oh, David, um, does I mean, like, I'm really horny right now. I'm like, yours, like, my pussy just got really drenched in water. Like, I don't know, like, I'm super in heat right now, and I'm already pregnant. What the hell is going on? So she jumped on top of me. She's like, hurry up, stick that shit in me. So I stick it in her, and we just start having sex, like, really rough sex, and it was good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I was definitely turning that shit up, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. And usually, when I have sex with her as the wolf, she always say it's too much, wolf dick. Like she be screaming out too much wolf dick, and sometimes she be trying to run from it, but I be like deep in her pussy, she can't get away from it. But this time, she actually was taking it. She was actually taking them back shots and stuff. It was really good. And then after I left from Mali, I went to my wife's and checked up on my wife's and everything. I went in there with Tanera. Tanera is I love Tanera. That's my baby. So I woke her up. I'm like, come here, Tanera. It's like, yeah. I'm like, I need you to get in this bathroom. I want to talk to you about something. She's like, is it bad news? You're not leaving me, are you? I'm like, that depends. Do you want me to leave? He's like, what type of damn question is that? Like, of course I don't want you to fucking leave me. Fuck no. So I'm like, look, when you cheated on me when you was doing that reality show, I'm still hurt by that, baby. I mean, I still think. She's like, I still think about it. She's like, I know you do, baby, and I'm sorry. It just, I felt very neglected. I'm like, and how did you feel like that, baby? You know I love you. She's like, I know that, but you be fucking other celebrity girls, and I know that you have to impregnate them and be in relationships with them. I know you have a job to do. You have a mission to accomplish and stuff. Like you're a baby god, and you have to start a new generation. I get all that. You have to create a whole new universe. I understand your mission, baby, and I'm supporting you 100% in that mission. But at the same time, I felt neglected. I felt like you wasn't paying me enough attention. So I'm like, okay, and why didn't you just say that? She's like, I don't know. I didn't want you to think I was complaining. Look, David, I fucking love you. When we started, when we did it the first time, do you want to know the story? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. At first, when it first happened, I didn't want to know it, but I do want to know why you did it. She's like, Okay, so he was coming around on set, and when I first seen him, yeah, I was like instantly attracted to him. I was like, he is really cute and stuff. And he just kept like, giving me compliments and saying I looked it nice in my outfits. And then he, the one time where I kind of like wanted to kind of date him is when he was kind of looking at my body and sizing me up and stuff. And he had came in my trailer one time. It was kind of nighttime, and he told me he was really attracted to me. He didn't want his wife. He only think about me. He was just saying all the right shit. And we had sex in the trailer, in my trailer, and then that was just like the start of us having that affair. Um, like a week into, because it happened for 2 weeks. A week into us dating, I felt bad. I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, yeah, he was really attractive and stuff, but then I started seeing a different side of him. Like, he would catch an attitude really quick, and he almost put his fucking hands on me. Like, he pushed me at one time up against the wall, and I was pregnant with the babies that I have right now of yours. Not the ones that we already have that's already born. No, these ones. So he pushed me up against the wall one time, and I've seen his anger then. And I mean, if he did that to me, Lord knows what he was doing to his damn real wife. He probably was beating on her, smacking her up, and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of felt that. So I was like, I definitely don't want to get too deep in this shit where he started putting his fucking hands on me, getting real physical with me. And so I mean, I broke it off because of that, but I also broke up with him because I didn't want to keep on lying to you in your face and saying I love you and all this stuff when I knew I was doing something completely behind your back. And I felt so guilty about that shit. Like I felt really, really fucking bad. And looking at our babies and stuff, and then knowing I was doing that shit. And then to top it off, the babies didn't want me to hold them. Like they kind of sensed that I was cheating on their father, which is you, and they kind of sensed it, and they didn't. And they kept crying and stuff every time I picked them up, and they never do that shit. And I started to realize, like, damn, these are not just normal babies. These babies are advanced, smart babies, and they're going to sense if I'm fucking over their father, you know what I'm saying, and they're going to know. And they sensed that. They didn't want to be around me. And that hurt me that my own daughters didn't want to be around their mom. So I was like, I gotta break this shit off. I gotta make this right. And, that's what happened. So then after that, I ended up having sex with her in the bathroom. I was Terrence, me and Tanera always have rough sex. Every girl wants to get changed. Every girl wants to get changed into a werewolf because as you see me as a werewolf, every girl wants to be one. So Tanera wants to be a werewolf for some reason. And I just remember she was like, David, will you change me into a werewolf? I was thinking about this so hard yesterday, even when you started changing. I just want to be a part of your wolf pack, David. I want you to always be connected to me, not just in my damn pussy. But I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm like, you sure this is what you want, Tanera? You sure you want me to change you into a wolf? She's like, yeah, I want to be a werewolf. I want to be a part of your wolf pack. I'm like, it's like you are creating a wolf pack, right? You are transforming people into wolves that you want to be a part of your wolf pack. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I am. Just mostly females. She's like, and I'm your wife, so you should definitely change me. David. I'm like, but you know that I'll be your master. That means that you belong. She's like, I already belong to you. You already my damn master. With me not being the fucking wolf or changing into a wolf, I'm already a fucking damn property. So I ended up changing her into a wolf. I, bit into her neck or whatever. I mean, I'm giving these girls what they want. I mean, they're not going to stop. They're going to ask me every night to change them into a wolf. So I might as well just fucking do it, give them what they want. If this what they really want, I'm going to give it to them. So Tanner was like, David, I feel like really fucking wet right now. I'm like, what you mean? It's like I'm like super horny. Come here. So I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, fuck me. I'm like, why are you bent over the sink like that? It's like, well, I can't like bend over with my stomach. You know I'm having your babies. Can't hurt the babies. David, come on. I'm like, what? It's like, stick your dick in me. You don't want to fucking stick your thing in me? You usually do. So I stick it in her, then I start beating it up from the back, and I ain't gonna lie, she was definitely moaning because I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was definitely turning it up. It was really good. So after I did have sex with Tanera, her pussy was literally leaking like with juice coming out, like pussy juice. You know when a girl squirt and then nut and all that stuff was coming out. It was like, yeah, it was like that. Then I ended up having sex with her again, and it was very steamy, but she was very horny. She's usually always horny, but anyway, I was like, okay, Tanera. It's like I'm hungry. So when am I gonna start woofing out? Like changing into a woof and stuff. When do that like actually start happening? I'm like tomorrow night. She's like, really? Does it happen like by itself? Can I control it? I'm like, when it first happens, you can't really control it. She's like, okay. So she's like, I kind of want you to fuck me when I change into that wolf. Like when it happens tomorrow, I kind of want you to dick me down. I'm like, you want me to beat it up? It's like, well, yeah. So I remember, I went to Jenna Ortega. She was sleeping in bed, and I wanted to talk to her. And I was like, look, I got some things I want to get off my chest. She's like, okay. I'm like, look, I don't know if I can trust you. For some reason, I feel like I can't trust you. She's like, David, I love you. You might not believe it. You might not think I don't love you, but I do. I have loved you the moment that you came into my life, David, and turned that shit upside down in a good way. Look, I know you probably think that I find other boys attractive, and I do. I do find other males attractive. I mean, I'm a female. I mean, if a boy is cute, I'm gonna say he's cute. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's not attractive, but that don't mean that I'm gonna run off with him just because he's a sexy male and all that. David, we have a fucking family together, and if that don't mean any damn thing to you, I don't know what it is. David, you literally knocked me up again while you were in a wheelchair. So it's like I'm pregnant again with your babies, and you know they're yours because you definitely did a lot of DNA tests to prove that it was yours. But I get it. I did hurt you, and a lot of times I did betray your trust, and I don't want to betray your trust anymore. That part I fucking mean. So I just remember we did have sex, and uh, you know, I was so happy that Jenna didn't ask me to change her into a fucking wolf like the other girls did. I was like really happy about that. But I did fuck her brains out. And as the wolf, I mean, I was turning her ass up. I mean, she was screaming pretty loud, but I like beating that pussy up. I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit just felt really good. So after I was done with Jenna, I looked through her phone. I didn't really find anything. I looked through Tanera's phone. Um, I didn't really find too many things that was like suspect that she was doing any cheating and anything. Like I didn't really find anything. And I look all the way through both of their phones. Like I mean, inside and out, looking through everything, every nook and cranny, trying to make sure I ain't getting fucked over. But anyway, I went back to Kay, and Kay was like still sleeping, whatever, in the bed. I took one of my daughters with me. Even though my daughter was asleep, I still took her, put her in the stroller, took her with me and stuff. And I just remember I go to Kay, and like I said, she was asleep in the room, and I woke her up, and I was kissing on her, and she was like, "David, are you horny?" I'm like, "Why? What? You're not horny?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really wet." So I'm like, "You are?" It's like, "Yeah." So I remember she was like, David, I was trying to really get some sleep, but I couldn't sleep because I'm still horny. Like you really literally just read my mind. You brought the baby? She not gonna wake up if we have sex, right? I'm like, Kay, why do you always say that, baby? It's like, I'm just asking, baby. I just wanna know. I'm like, you know, she's not gonna wake up. Now bend that ass over so I can get in that pussy. She's like, all right. So she bent over and I started beating it up real fast. I mean, I instantly just started turning her ass up, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, Kay, when you look at Kay on Just Roll With It and look at her now because she is a lot older than what she was on the show, I always knew that she was gonna be a dime piece. Like I knew when she got older she was gonna be really pretty. Like she was already pretty as a little girl. But you know, I knew she was gonna develop a nice little body and everything like that. I already knew that. I 100% knew that that was gonna happen. So I just remember she was like, David, can I say something to you? I'm like, what? She's like, you know, I wish that it was me that you did that sex scene with in the movie. I'm like, really? He's like, mm-hmm. I seen Selena on the boat and she wasn't very nice to me. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I think she's seen us kissing. I'm like, oh, on the boat? She's like, yeah, I think she has seen us. Remember when I told you I thought I seen Selena Gomez walk past us as we were kissing? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I think she really did walk past us and seen us kissing because I seen her and I said hi to her and I was really nice to her because she's in the movie with us even though she's your leading girl. I was like, telling her she did a really good job. I was like, me and David seen it together. We watched it together. Um, and when I said that, she just caught a really fucking attitude. And she kind of just looked at me and she was like, you think you're going to take my place? And I was like, what are you talking about? So she was like, you really think you're going to take my place? You think that you think that I'm replaceable? Like, do you know who I am? I'm like, yeah, you're Selena Gomez. So she was like, yeah, don't you forget it. He's never going to choose you over me. So, and then she just walked the hell off. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, really? And I was literally just like fucking looking stiff as shit, trying to realize what happened. I'm sitting there looking like, did she just say that shit to me? And she literally fucking did. So when I walked up to her again and I asked her what she was getting some food and stuff. I walked up to her and I asked her, I was like, did you just threaten me just now? So she was like, I didn't threaten you. I just said that David would never choose you over me. And I was like, but what if he do? What if he do choose you? So I was like, what if he do choose me over you? What if he actually do? Then like your little feelings would be hurt. So she was like, my feelings would be hurt. First of all, me and David have a real history. Y'all don't have no history. And if he's if he's in a relationship with you or whatever, he's only having sex with you to get you pregnant so he can keep the generation going because he has a mission to do. That means he got to impregnate girls to make a new generation. So you're probably part of his mission. So I was like, what? But I know you're not normal. I do know you gotta make babies. I know all that stuff. But I mean, I'm not just some girl that you just knocking up, David, just to like experiment with. Am I? I'm like, no, look, Kay, I do really like you, okay? She's like, you do. I'm like, yes, if I didn't, I wouldn't have made you my wife. She's like, so the other girls that you make babies with, if they just your girlfriends, they just girls that you making babies with, that's it, right? I'm like, yeah, but you're my wife, and you're the girl I want to be with. She's like, you really mean that? You're not just saying that shit? I'm like, no, I'm not just saying it. I mean it. So she's like, okay, all right. Like, I mean, I believe you, David. Like, I wanted to ask you to make sure. Like, I didn't like. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that I just wasn't the girl that you was just banging and have sex with just to like knock me up and just be like, oh, That's another girl that got knocked up. Now I can just go to another pretty girl, knock her up. I'm like, no, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, so it's like, I just want to make sure that we're like on the same page. I'm like, no, we definitely on the same page, Cage. Like, okay. Now I just gotta figure out how to tell my mom and all this stuff, like that I'm your wife and, you know, that I'm pregnant and that you changed me into a wolf. Like, that's like a lot of fucking news to tell my mom. Definitely don't know where to even start or what to tell her first. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna like lay that out there to her, but I don't know. But I'm gonna figure it out, David. Like, I don't gotta tell her right now. I mean, I can keep it a secret for a little while, but till I figure out a way to tell her. But I am eventually gonna have to tell her. So I'm like, well, yeah, you are. So I did end up having sex with Kay and beating it up or whatever. Then I remember she ended up falling asleep, and I had my daughter with me, and I met this one girl because on the cruise, I still, it's still customers on there, which means there's a lot of people on there that's like my fans and stuff. But anyway, um, this girl I met, I'm gonna call her, you know, Kamara. I'm gonna call her Cammy. I'm gonna call her Cammy. So Cammy, she was with her boyfriend. She was really, really pretty though, and like super. She was really thick. She was really thick. So and really pretty. So I could tell she was like about 17 years old. So Cammy, she was with her boyfriend. Now her boyfriend was treating her like me, yelling at her and stuff like that. And he walked away, and I just remember she was saying like it's supposed to be like our anniversary. You like making this really bad. Like I wanted to have a good time, and you just making it like the worst time of my life. I just want to go home. And she started crying, and he walked away, and she was crying, and I walked up to her, and I was like, "Hey, I'm David." So she's like, "Oh my God, you're a werewolf." I'm like, "I'm David Sims." She's like, "I know your voice. I mean, I'm such a big fan of you, but you're like really a wolf. Like you're like hairy and stuff." I'm like, "It's like I mean, you don't look bad or anything. I'm sorry you meeting me like this, all crying and emotional. Just having a bad experience with my boyfriend. I don't know. I think we should break up. I mean, these past couple of months has not been the greatest. I mean, the first 2 months was really fun and happy and stuff. It was like we were married. It was just, everything was going great, and now it's just like I just hate him now. I don't want to be with him. I just really, really hate him. So I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, come on. It's your anniversary. Why don't you hang out with me? I can show you a good time. It's like, okay, sure. So we get in the jacuzzi together. She put on her baby suit. And it's like, wait, is that your daughter? I'm like, yeah. It's like, she's really pretty. I'm like, well, what's your name? She's like, my name is Cammy. I'm like, hey, Cammy, I'm David. It's like, I know who you are. So we was having fun, just talking and stuff. I was like, so if I was to come over there and kiss you, would you let me kiss you? She's like, no, I wouldn't stop you. Would you bite my face off because you're a wolf? No, I wouldn't stop you, David. So I walk over there. We in the water in the jacuzzi, and I start kissing her and grabbing her ass or whatever like that, and she didn't stop me. So I'm like trying to get it up in there. I'm like, "Are you a virgin?" She's like, "No, I'm not a virgin." So I stuck my dick in her. Right? She didn't tell me to pull it out or anything. And I mean, I was beating it up in that water, boy, and she was taking it. She was letting me beat it up, and I'm not gonna lie, it definitely felt really good, like having sex with her. I'm not gonna lie, it was like good. And so she's like, so wait, can I get your number? We didn't get each other numbers. So I got her phone number, her cell phone, and then she got mine. And I was like, damn, I wanna fuck you again. It's like, well, you can have sex with me again, but wait, You wouldn't by chance need another girlfriend, would you? I'm like, would you want to be my girlfriend? She's like, I would love to be your new girlfriend. So we kissing. I ended up beating it up again. And then her boyfriend was calling her phone. She didn't answer the phone. She just kept letting it ring. And I'm like, well, why don't I get a room for just me and you? She's like, I would love that. I'm like, so would you got to get your stuff? She's like, yeah, yeah. You know what? I think it's the night that I break up with my boyfriend. I want to be with you. I'm like, I want to be with you, but I want to fuck you like a lot. I want to bust my nut in you a lot. It's like, you mean you want to get me pregnant? Don't think I don't know about your mission about starting a generation. You just want to knock me up so you can keep the generation going. But I'm down with that as long as I'm like your girl. I'm like, you is my girl. It's like, okay, well, I'll go get my stuff and we can go to the room. I'm like, you'll let me beat it up? It's like, I'm definitely gonna let you beat it up. Didn't I let you beat it up in the jacuzzi like 2 times? I just let you have sex with me 2 times. Yes, I'll let you have sex with me in the room too. I'm like, okay, well, hurry up. It's like, all right. So she goes to the room and he's like, yo, I called your phone like 6 times. Why didn't you answer the phone, Cammy? She's like, because it's over. I can't do this shit with you no more. So he like, what is your problem? She's like, my problem is we came on this cruise to have a good time and you just made it fucking miserable. So he's like, and how did I do that? She's like, because you was not being romantic. He was like, I gotta be romantic to you all the time. Like, damn, you bitches need somebody to be romantic to you every damn day. God damn, y'all so fucking emotional. So she's like, it's not about me being emotional. I booked this fucking cruise. I paid for everything. And I shouldn't have had to do this shit. It's our anniversary. You didn't even know that it was our anniversary. I had to remind you. You didn't even want to come on this fucking cruise. I had to fucking literally drag you to come on this cruise. So he's like, so what are you saying? She's like, I'm saying you have to find your own way back after the cruise. I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else. I just got booked into another room and I can't do this shit no more. I'm breaking up with you. I can't do this shit. I'm tired of feeling. She's like, I'm tired of feeling like shit She's like, I'm tired of feeling like shit every night going to bed. I feel bad. I feel angry. I feel like killing myself just after being around you. And I just don't want to feel that way no more. So I can't do this shit no more. You can have fun in this room. It's already paid for, but leave me the fuck alone. So she's like, and if you don't, I will fucking call my brothers on you. And you've seen my brothers. You definitely don't want me to call my brothers. So just leave me alone. Do not talk to me the rest of the trip. I'm done with you. It's over. So she get her stuff and she comes back to the jacuzzi. She's like, you're still in the water? I'm like, yeah, I can get out, baby. I want to tear your ass up, girl. You're so sexy. It's like, David, you making me have fun now. I'm having fun now. I'm like, you are. It's like, yeah, you're making me feel special. I haven't felt like this in a very long time. I'm like, now, when we go in the room, I'm gonna make love to you. It's like, oh yeah, are we gonna make pretty babies like that? I'm like my daughter. She's like, is she a twin? I'm like, yeah, she's a twin. She's like, where's the other baby? I'm like, it's four. Well, it's three of them. Well, it's four altogether, but the other three is with their mother. She's like, wait, it's four? I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. So if you get me pregnant, you're gonna like put more than one baby in me, I'm assuming, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna knock that ass up. It's like, okay. But wait, what if you get me pregnant being a wolf? Because you're like a wolf right now, and that's how you've been fucking me tonight. So it's like, wait, did you change back into yourself in the morning? I'm like, yeah, I only wolf out at night now. She was like, and that's an everyday thing, like that you change into a wolf every night. I'm like, yeah, it's an everyday thing now. It's like, okay, so that means you'll be fucking me as a wolf at night, and that's like really big dick, and that okay. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm fine with it. So after dealing with Cammy, I went back to Kay and I was kissing on Kay and then I had more sex with Kay. I woke her up having sex with her. And she didn't really mind me having sex with her. I had the baby with me obviously. But I'm gonna stop the story here. I mean, I hope that everybody enjoyed this episode. Like I said, my fans will definitely post this episode on YouTube, and I hope that certain people enjoy this episode, and I guess certain people won't enjoy it. But like I said, it's not for everybody to accept and like. It's only for the people that can understand and comprehend what I'm saying. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all later. Deuces.